stream should be going live now. I gotta go find it on YouTube and make sure everything is sounding proper. Don't go through my headphones. No. Okay, I hear you. My mic is cutting out like holy crap. Is that a problem? Do I need to change that? I can change that. Hold up, give me 1 second. Let's see if this fixes it. Pop.
Good Lord, buddy, you were cutting out like crazy. You weren't cutting out like crazy before, but all of a sudden you started cutting out like crazy on here. Okay. Hmm. Hi. Hello.
Here. Okay. Now that one should be popping. Yeah, it's popping. Okay, we're coming through now. Let's see how that sounds when it decides to catch up. How do I sound to you?
Distant, but it's not bad. I can hear you just fine.
Okay, that's good.
Oh, that's horrible.
Oh, that's way better.
Now we're back.
Yeah. Okay, that's way better now. Seems like I fixed everything. You sound good coming through. I sound good coming through.
Yeah, you do now. You didn't there for a moment.
Yeah, that's because I had my phone probably popping back through. I think we are ready to start.
I don't know. I'm not looking forward to it.
You know they can hear you, right? Like we're live right now.
That's fine.
Okay, well, let's get started, I guess then.
Ooh.
So, hello everybody. Welcome back to Something to Listen to. This is the second episode of the podcast. I've decided to name it Rednecking It because of my guest that I've brought on today is one of my good buddies, Jacob.
Hello.
This is Jacob. We're just gonna talk for a little bit. I'm gonna ask him some questions, ask him to talk about himself while he plays a game. I think he's doing something over there.
I'm playing Madden.
Okay, well, yeah, that makes sense. All right. So, yeah, I guess we can just get into it. So,
I don't know what I'm doing. This was your idea, buddy.
well, yeah, that's the point. Exactly. So, tell me about you, I guess. Where you grew up.
I grew up in the same town as you, so
Yeah, we both grew up
I don't know.
in Murrayville together. You went to.
I'm not good at talking about myself. You know this.
So let's see. went to Maryville Elementary for a little bit together, and then you left after elementary school and went to Pittsfield.
No. I went to Western.
You went to Western. Okay.
Yeah, I
Uh,
went to
how?
junior high school. I went to junior high in Kinderhook.
Okay.
I
Oh,
know you don't know where that is. That's okay.
I have no idea. So how long were you there for?
I was there seventh, sixth, seventh, and half of eighth grade.
And
The
then
principal decided she didn't like me anymore, so she sent me to the alternative school for the bad kids. I wasn't bad disciplinary wise. I just wasn't doing my work.
oh, okay. Yeah.
So
Well,
then I went there. So then I went there for the second semester of my eighth grade year, and then decided to become a full time student there freshman year. Majority of my freshman year I spent at Pittsfield, and then after failing everything all year long, transferred back to Western for like 3 weeks before school got out,
hmm,
and that is now where I'm graduating from in May.
nice. That's always good. So, uh, what are your plans for once you get out of high school?
Well, I'm either going to work at this trucking company that I got a job at, get my certifications there, or sorry, I had a hair in my mouth. Or I'm going to go to Wyotech next September for diesel technology.
That's a big undertaking. Are you excited for that?
I don't know what undertaking means.
A lot to take in. A lot of stuff that just happens all at once. Moving from Illinois all the way to Wyoming for a couple months. It's a lot.
9.
9. That's a big change.
I mean, yeah, but I grew up not really having any roots anywhere, so it wouldn't be too big a deal.
You wouldn't say you had any roots here in Illinois?
Not really.
All right. Well, to each your own, right?
Growing up with a dad that drives a truck, you kind of learn not to get too attached to places.
That makes sense. I've heard that a lot about uh, that kind of living.
I mean, yeah, me and my dad have our hometown in Murrayville, but there ain't really much there for us too much anymore, to be honest with you.
That's fair. I get that.
I mean, I got you and my mom, but that's about it.
Yeah, still lives over here. So, other than going to school, what else are you up to in your free time? Hobbies, stuff like that.
I don't really do much anymore. I mean, I used to go out like every night after work, hang out with friends and whatnot, and now I just school, work, and then I come home, do homework, play video games. Sometimes that's really about it. Not much.
What games are you into?
Well, I like football, so obviously, I've played all the way through college football 25 superstar mode, and
Hmm.
then I'm now on Madden 25 superstar mode with the same player. I just actually recently pre-ordered a game. It's called Roadcraft. If you've ever heard of SnowRunner, it's made by the same people that made that game, but
Oh,
it's
okay, yeah.
it's a lot more in depth. So you pretty much run your own kind of road construction crew.
Hmm. That sounds
And I
interesting.
pre-ordered it like a week and a half or so ago. Over this past weekend, I pre-ordered it.
That sounds fun. I'll have to check that one out.
It actually comes out May 19th, but I pre-ordered it for like I think it's like $40 for the base game. I think the deluxe version's like 60 or 70, but I just pre-ordered the base game for like
Okay.
$40.
All right. It's
The
not too bad.
trailer looked really fun. I downloaded literally just based off of the trailer.
That's fair. You're a pretty big car guy, to my understanding. Obviously, I know you pretty
Yeah,
well, so uh, if so, I know you used to be a really big Chevy guy, just like myself.
I'm just
But
kind of thing.
I that's what I was gonna say. As of right now, you are a cars are cars and cars are sick.
Well, it depends on the cars. I mean, yeah, cars are sick, but it depends on what cars we're talking about. Like you could take, let's say, like a Chevy Equinox. Yeah, they're not bad cars depending on the year you get, but they're not cool.
That's fair.
There's nothing really cool about a Chevy Equinox. Now you get like a '91 Pontiac Firebird. Now that's cool. Whether it's got a V6, V8 or not, it's still cool.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I mean,
So
yeah, if it's got a V8, it's cooler, but
yeah,
it's still cool either way.
exactly. So if you had to choose a dream car or a truck, uh, dealer, all the tuning, all
Well,
that
buddy.
crap, what
Uh
do
huh.
you, engine, drivetrain, train, all of it. You got to pick whatever you
You
wanted.
gonna get there at some point, buddy.
Yeah, I'm fumbling. Sometimes we do that.
What's my overall dream car? Is that what you mean to ask?
Yes. And then you
1967 1967 Chevy Camaro SC. Yenko or 1967 Chevrolet Camaro Yenko SC.
so tell me about it.
You want me to tell you the whole story on the Yenko SC Camaro?
Sure, why not? We got to fill up an hour.
Good point. So what it was the Camaro came out in 1969, obviously, as most anybody can infer to, you know, combat the Ford Mustang and the pony car because technically they're not muscle cars; they're pony cars because they're a lot smaller.
Mm-hmm.
So they came out, and at the time, the highest engine option you could get was a at the time it was a 30 in '67 it was a 305, which is technically a 5.0. Everybody knows, Ford's got a 5.0, but Chevy also had a 5.0 that's 305 cubic inches.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Chevy dealership over in Pennsylvania, owned by a guy named Don Yenko.
Hmm.
Well, instead of selling just normal base model 305 and later on 396 motor Camaros, he decided to take the 427 cubic inch big block motors out of the Corvette Stingrays of the time and put them into Camaros and dubbing them Yenko SC Camaros. The SC stood for Super Camaro because it had a bigger motor in it. GM, General Motors, got wind of it and started sending him bare chassis, just body in just a bare body, no paint or nothing on it, and chassis frame to this guy's shop and send him the 427 motors because GM didn't have at the time the facilities to put the 427s in the Camaros, whereas Don Yenko's shop did. So they would just send him the motors and the cars, and he would sell these Camaros, as Yenko SC Camaros. And they're relatively very sought after. I mean, you can build your own. I mean, which that's probably what I'll end up doing if I ever get the money to be able to do that. I'll just end up having to build my own because it is very hard to find an all original, I mean, complete survivor 67 Yenko Camaro.
Yeah, I get that. Older cars are fascinating, but as we get older, they get harder to find. So,
Yep.
so on same line of thinking, if you had to go with a truck option, where are we
Ooh.
going?
Be honest with you, I really don't know.
Hmm,
I've never really thought about what my dream truck would be. It'd be a square body Chevy of some sort, no doubt.
that's fair.
I mean, either front end style. I mean, I would take either a round headlight or a square headlight. I like the way the round headlights looked from the '70s. But actually, no, I would take the generation before the square bodies. I can't remember what years they ran, but I know what they look like.
Mm-hmm.
I would take one of those. Drop a drop a 427 or 454 in it. Build it a little bit. Maybe a slight lift and some bigger tires, but nothing too crazy.
That's fair.
And I mean, even if I could find one like that, just completely rusted out with no motor in it, drop a junkyard 5.3 or a 350 in it, call it good, and drive it like that for a while.
It's not a bad idea. I've heard a lot of stories recently as I've been getting more into the car community about how reliable those old square body small block Chevys are, and it's a fascinating world knowing how like why people that are Chevy owners, at least the older generation, that are so like diehard Chevy or so
Hmm.
diehard. The reason they're so diehard Chevy because it was just crazy how
Back then,
reliable.
they were reliable.
Exactly.
And take that old blue truck your grandpa has, for example. The
Yeah.
odometer is reading over 300,000 miles, and it's got a small block 350 in it.
Mhm.
I guarantee you it's the original motor from the factory. I guarantee it.
I think it's had. I think my dad told me that it's had 3 engines in it.
Oh, well, that's a different story, but
Yeah, but it's all original frames still. Besides like
yeah.
a few doors being changed out because they got
Yeah.
broken.
I mean, as long as you just keep up proper maintenance with them 350s will last you a lifetime.
Oh yeah, I
I
mean
mean,
he's had that.
I've heard stories of old timers having them and having over a million miles on a small block Chevy.
Yeah, I mean he's had that truck for as long as I can remember. So he's. I mean my grandpa is like one of the biggest diehard Chevy owners I've ever known, but that's just a personal thing, you know.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to trucks, I'm more of an. I mean, when it comes to any motor vehicle, really, I'm kind of an anything type of guy. I mean, I like the Japanese cars. I like American Muscle. I like a little bit of everything. The only thing I'm really not too big a fan of, vehicle wise, is one, electric cars, and two, lowered pickup trucks. I don't know why. I'm just not a fan of lowered pickup trucks. I mean, but I am the type of guy, respect all builds because everybody has their own thing. The way they build their vehicle is, to express their own self, their personality.
Mhm.
Jeeps, not a fan of Jeeps, not a fan of them.
That's fair. I don't have like a problem with like a Wrangler. I think those look fine and stuff like
I mean,
that.
yeah, fine. It's not the way they look. I don't like the people associated with them.
That's fair. What
And
the
some of the modifications they put on them are just dog ugly to me.
Yeah, I get that. I've seen some of those before too. It's just like, what are you doing? My like one of my least favorite vehicles ever is
Angry
the
Grill.
Gladiator by Jeep.
Oh, see, okay, they used to have a Gladiator back in the '80s. It wasn't really a Gladiator, but it was called like an M19A. They were military vehicles. I love the way they look. Love the way they look. And then also in the late '80s, early '90s, they had a what it was called a Jeep Comanche. And what it was pretty much the front end of your kind of real boxy late '80s, early '90s Jeep Grand Cherokee, but it was single cab long bed pickup truck. I would love to have one of those. I would
Uh,
love to have one of those.
oh yeah, these look like way better.
Yeah, Jeep Comanche. They're kind of like it's kind of like if Jeep made an S10 to me or something or like a Ford Ranger or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would love to have one of those. And have because they came with a 4.0 liter inline six motors in them, and from what I've heard, those 4 liter inline sixes from Jeep were good motors.
my camera is like blurred for some reason. Can
You
it like
probably
focus back on
put
me?
food on it.
Focus. It's so blurred right now. It's crazy. I have no idea why that's like that. That's so weird. Okay, well. Anyways, uh, let's see. So I also know that you. So let's go again. Same line. Motorcycle.
Oh, like what would my favorite motorcycle be?
Yeah, dream motorcycle. If you got to pick one, and you can get it.
Again, it's kind of one of those things. There's too many. I like to pick just one. I don't know what it is about the Camaro, them first gen Camaros, but just something about them. The first time I seen them was like, "Yep, that's what I want." But everything else, I'm just kind of like, there's too many to pick from. I mean, I like Royal Enfields because I love the cafe racer style bikes. But I also uh, I like Indians a lot.
Yeah, I remember you saying.
I really want an Indian Scout bomber. I really want one of them. But if I got one of those, I would want to take the bigger 116 cubic inch motor out of the Indian Challenger and throw in it because more power, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Me getting into the car scene. I don't. There's like a few vehicles that I like desperately would love to have, but
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. I don't have the history behind all these other vehicles.
You just don't really know what else is out there per se.
Exactly. Like I've been getting in, and there's been a lot of cool vehicles that I'm like, wow, this is sick. I would love to have one of these, but
But then you'll see something else, and you're like, "Oh, it's just an older version of this, but it's cooler."
yeah, exactly, exactly. Like I don't know. Like the first time I saw, let's see. No, that one. I every time I see like cars, I'm thinking about old cars. I just like old cars a lot. I love the way they look. I love the like boxy styles
Yeah,
from them, and so I've always been just a big fan of like all those generations of just the like 1990s and before.
yeah.
Like, I mean, I've told you several times. The S10 that I have, I love it. I mean, I'll probably always love that thing. I'll probably always
Personally,
keep it.
I don't see it, but
But
But I mean, I've always been the type of guy. I see the potential in every vehicle. So I
yeah.
mean, your truck has potential. Like if you wanted to build it up, it has potential to build, no doubt. Because I've seen some crazy builds out of them old first gen S10s.
Hmm.
It's just I know you plan to keep it bone stock.
At least for right now. If the engine ever like explodes on me or dies out, then that
Then you'll
bubby
probably drop a 350 in it.
I might do something to it. Yeah, I haven't quite decided yet what engine I wanna drop into it. Cause after seeing a few videos, I could put a few.
Yeah, but it'd just be easier to do something that you don't have to do much frame fabrication for.
Oh yeah, no, that would be way simpler. But then also, if I have the time, you could just send it all the way and drop like a Cummins in it.
Been watching too much Sea Boys.
Yeah, well, wouldn't that be cool though?
I mean, yeah, but I mean, it would be cool. It's just there's so many more things you could do with that
Oh yeah.
than just you know dr- going with conformity and dropping a Cummins or a 3 fit or a 5.3 or something like that in it. I mean, if you want to be different, save up some money, buy you one of those new GM crate, like what is it, like 632 cubic inch? I think they are. They're 1,000 horsepower naturally aspirated, so that doesn't have any sort of boost, no turbocharger, no supercharger, no nitrous, nothing. 1,000 horsepower from the crate. Therefore, that leaves you room to boost it. You get a pro charger, turbocharger, supercharger, stuff like that. Now, granted, they're like 30 grand, but still,
Yeah. That would be
you
a
would,
fun experience.
you would literally have a death go kart if you put a motor like that in an S10. And if you really want to make it snazzy, with yours being a single cab short bed, having that real short wheelbase,
Yeah.
uh, put a all wheel drive in it.
Yeah, I would want to like do something like that, put in either in all-wheel drive or at least two-wheel, because that thing only
It's
it's
not
got
two wheel. It has two wheel. It's just you have a limited slip differential.
yeah.
So
I would want
so
to change that up a
limited
little
slip,
bit.
your wheels can spin at different speeds. It helps
Yes.
with turning.
Yeah.
That's why you always just call your truck a one wheel drive because whenever it does spin tires, it just spins one.
Yeah. Which is hilarious.
It is kind of funny.
Yeah.
I mean, my Chevy was the same way. So
Yeah. I haven't
my
tried spinning tires in
my
my white
God,
one yet, but I'm scared to, and I'm sure you know why.
yeah, I'm also scared too.
But
I'll break the tire. I mean, we'll break the tires when it's going in a straight line. But if it involves a corner, no way.
I'm scared just to do it at a standstill even.
Oh no, you remember that night over here.
Oh, well, yeah, but that was in gravel.
Well, yeah, I ain't talking about just on dead pavement.
Yeah, that's what I'm scared about.
Yeah, no, I ain't trying it on dead pavement. No way, no how.
Not till we get some stuff figured out on the undercarriage.
Hot stuff figured out.
Yeah, there's a lot down there that needs to be figured out. That
Yeah.
every now and again, I'm like, ah, has it gotten worse? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know. I say it's gotten worse every time I ride in it. So
Yeah, it's a nice truck, but it's also not a nice truck.
it's a nice truck on the inside for the most part.
Oh yeah, it probably needs a little seat repair every now and again on a couple places, but
The seats seem fine to me.
they got a couple of tears in a couple different spots, but mainly on that driver's side, near the door, just because the original owners
They
were,
slide out.
yeah, exactly, which is not good on your interior.
No, but I mean it's a vehicle. They're made to be driven.
This is true, which is why I mean, I have the same concept with like shoes. You buy shoes, they're meant to be worn. You're supposed to wear them. You're supposed to go
Well,
do
yeah,
whatever
but
you want in
you
them.
got that fandy dandy pair of Nike Hyperdunks that you baby.
I don't baby them as much as some people do. You should see some people
Well,
baby
no, I've
shoes.
seen. There's a couple. I go to school with a couple sneakerheads. I go to a school with a guy that sells sneakers.
In fact, I wear mine more often than I should to keep them nice because I want to break them in and I want them to get worn so that way because I think it looks cooler because of the old style if they're worn. I like
Yeah,
that more.
I'm just going off of the whole auspice of how that day we went to ride dirt bikes. You're like, hold on, got to run home, change my shoes.
Well, I mean, I also prefer to be in like if we're riding dirt bikes, I would prefer to be in like a waterproof boot just to like first of all help protect my feet in general, but also if we hit a puddle, I don't have to worry about changing my socks later.
Yeah, but it's more fun that way.
Not when you wear the socks I do.
That's a good point. You do wear weird socks.
Yeah. I didn't even talk about that in the podcast.
Yeah, how the fact that you wear toe socks.
Yeah. I'm sure that's been
Yeah, I'm
brought
sure they
up
want
on
to
the
hear.
YouTube channel
Sure, they want to hear
before.
about your already.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they want to hear about my glove socks. Oh man. So, I if I recall myself correctly, you have played football for how many years?
I played it for one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I only ever played it for one, but I fell in love with it.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
I regret not playing more years, but money money's nice.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. I talked about last episode how I didn't end up playing football, and that made me kind of like not like it at all for a long time until last year. And now I can't wait for next season. I'm super excited. I mean, hell, we get on, we play either the crew or we play Madden.
We played college football that one time until I got mad and rage quit.
That is true. We did do that. Uh, let's see. Are you interested in any other sports besides
No,
football?
well, I don't know. Hockey's kind of cool.
Hockey is cool. Uh,
Hockey's like football, but ice
I hear that
to me.
analogy a lot nowadays.
I mean, I guess there was this big game happened here a while back of Canada versus U.S., and then Canada fans started talking crap on the U.S. and booed the national anthem. So the American team on Canada's home ice started three fights within the first 9 seconds of the game, and then proceeded to beat them.
I remember hearing about that one
Like it's
too. That's an interesting storyline. Uh,
not a storyline; it happened.
what?
It's not a storyline; it actually happened.
Well, yeah, no, I mean like the storyline of following that, finding out about it. I mean, I'm sure you of all people would know that Americans are very upset when you disrespect their country.
Not as many as there should be.
I mean, every now and again we get a few that are like, well, Europe time, baby. But
I'm still under the whole, George Washington meme that goes around periodically throughout the year. What's a kilometer?
that one's one of my favorites. For media, what kind of media do you consume? Where do you consume
Me?
your
What does that even mean?
like do you
What media
what do
do I
you
consume?
what do you do like the most out of like watching besides video games, right? You watch a lot of TV shows, movies, YouTube.
I watch YouTube mainly. I mean, sometimes I'll jump on Disney Plus and watch a superhero movie, something or other like that. But
That's fair.
I mean, I used to. I mean, the only show I've ever really gotten into was I was really into Stranger Things when it first came out, so I've watched everything to it.
Hmm.
I've watched all of Big Mouth, which is a raunchy adult cartoon.
Yeah.
I've watched all of Paradise PD, which is another raunchy adult cartoon, and I've watched all of Sons of Anarchy, which is an actual TV show. Like I've watched through it like once or twice. I know, like two or three times. It's about a biker club out in California.
Yeah. I've been
It's
wanting to watch that one
very
for a
good.
long time.
I actually have the entire DVD box set for the
Well,
entire show.
well, next time you come down, that's what we do the entire time. Just watch the show.
It is. It's a good show.
Yeah,
It made me.
I've heard a lot of good things about it. It's same with like Stranger Things. I've heard a lot of good things about both of those shows, and I just haven't seen either of them.
Oh, doggone it! I got tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
That's unfortunate.
I lost my X factor.
So, sports. Back to sports. I know who I've you've been. Let's see. We started golfing a little bit.
No, you
Well,
started golf and
I
I
started
started kart.
golfing, and you started driving the cart.
I started karting.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. So, if for those of you who don't know, when me and Jacob go golfing, it is literally just I play golf, and Jacob dicks
I
around on the
wrecked the
cart.
cart. I broke a cart one time because I drove into a tree too fast.
That was hilarious. The wheels were like bent in. You,
Oh, it all happened so fast. I was just going in circles. Next thing I know, I smack a tree right in the dead center of the golf cart.
yeah, and that
Smack the
thing.
steering wheel and then roll out onto the ground.
That cart was never the same after you hit that tree.
Uh,
It was driving
I couldn't
slower.
drive
You
in a
could
straight line
barely
back to the
turn.
clubhouse. Couldn't drive in a straight line back to the clubhouse.
Yeah, that was an interesting experience.
It'll probably happen again.
Oh yeah, probably.
We just won't disclose the name of the golf course, for legal reasons, just in case.
Yeah, no, it was that one golf course when we went to New York that one time, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, it happened down in Mexico too. We did one down there
Oh
too.
yeah, yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah.
That was a very sandy one.
Yeah,
I,
so
I
many
think there's
bunkers,
sand
dude.
down there. I don't know. I assume there's sand down there. It would make sense.
So with your dad being a trucker, I know you've gone with him sometimes on his
Uh,
uh e- escapades. I don't know if that's the correct term. I guess
that's what I want to call him.
his
Just going to work with him.
yeah, I guess going to work with him. Where all have you been?
Well, I could quote the Johnny Cash song, but I haven't been to quite all those places. Been to Washington, Oregon, Wyoming, Minnesota. Okay, hold on. I gotta pause my game. Count this. Okay, so I've been to Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, Missouri, Kansas, Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, California, Oregon, Washington, Utah, Idaho, Montana, South, South Dakota, Wyoming, a tiny bit of Nevada, Oklahoma, Nebraska. I believe that's it.
That is a long haul. You've been to way more than I have.
Oh, Colorado. I forgot Colorado.
I've been to. I obviously live in Illinois. I've been to Missouri because if you leave Illinois to go somewhere cooler than Illinois, you usually try to go to Missouri.
I
Um,
mean, with where I live, we're like half an hour from Missouri, so we go over there to hang out all the time over here.
exactly. And then I've been to Colorado once, and that's it. I've been to all the states in between because
Fly
we
or
drove
drive to
there.
Colorado?
Yeah, we drove. So
You've
I've
been to the
been.
states in between, so you've probably been to Missouri, Kansas. I think Colorado butts up to Kansas, but I really don't want to say too much. Hold on, let me look at a map real quick.
Yeah,
Just
I'd have
got me
to
kind of
look at a.
curious.
I got. Yeah, I'd have to look at a map to be honest.
I'm looking at one right now, real quick. Give me just a second for the darn thing to load. Okay, so there's. Okay, yeah. So you've probably just been through Missouri, Kansas, and Colorado because Colorado and Kansas border each other. Yeah, let me take a look at this real quick. See what all I have been to. Da, 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 da,
I
da.
love how blurry that photo is of the
Oh, and
U.S.
Wisconsin. I forgot Wisconsin. I forgot Wisconsin.
Well, you got it in
Oh,
now.
Apple Maps has updated.
It's
Oh, let
updated.
me see.
Is it
Yeah, let
better
me send you.
now?
Oh, let me send you a screenshot of this. This looks slick.
You are not a tech guy, but I know that you are a big Apple fan.
They're just easier to run. Look at that map, though.
That's interesting.
It shows you like where the darkness is, or like
Yeah,
what part of the country.
that's pretty cool.
Hmm.
Hmm. Uh, as everyone else on here knows, I freaking hate Apple.
You hate Apple, but they're well for a while there were your preferred listening device
What do you mean? Oh,
when you used AirPods.
I still use AirPods. I carry them around every single day, and I'll admit when Apple makes like a good product, like AirPod Pro 2s are probably the best true wireless earbuds on the market. Even if you're running an Android phone, I'm running an Android phone and I use these things daily. They're like simply just phenomenal for so much. They even if I don't get to use my voice assistant with them because they're an Apple device, and so if I wanted to do that, I have to have an Apple phone. But like I've tried everything else. Nothing is as good as the AirPod Pro 2s, and I've tried a lot of wireless earbuds, and it just simply doesn't compare with the pressure sensitive buttons and the slide controls as well. I get so many options for like what I want to turn on and off all the time. It 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 is truly incredible with what they've done with these and how good they are. I will admit that.
You lost my interest a long time ago.
I figured. um, yeah,
Oh,
I will admit when Apple does something right, but most of the time I feel like they do things wrong, including me trying to get
oh boy.
this podcast on Apple Podcasts. I can, th- dude, crap is like so annoying to deal with. I cannot. It's so dumb. I'm trying to get my podcast on Apple Podcasts, and I can't even like. I created the podcast. I created its own Apple ID for the podcast, so I could make the podcast and have everything be under the podcast's email and stuff like that. And Apple just won't let me sign into my account to claim my podcast on their podcasting site.
I don't know. I just listen to music on Apple Music.
Yeah, not everyone listens to podcasts.
I myself am not a podcast listener, but here I am on one.
I know. Thank you for being here.
I really didn't have anything else to do tonight.
Well, that's true. I didn't have anything else either, but that's why we're here. Because I had free time to record an episode of the podcast. So preferred off-road vehicle out of like the normal stuff. So like a
Out of the big three,
big
Ford, Dodge,
three.
and Chevy,
No, out of the big three, meaning more like a a dirt bike, a four wheeler, or like a Can-Am.
or just like just a side by side.
Yeah.
I would definitely take a side by side because you can buy some out there nowadays that have turbos on them, and turbos are always good.
That's a fair point. I myself, I think, just from how I grew up driving pit bikes all the time, I probably will forever and always be, unless I like absolutely destroy myself on a dirt bike, will probably be a dirt bike guy.
Yeah.
I do like
Well,
four
you've
wheelers
never
a
really
lot
done
too,
too
but
much on anything else. I mean, yeah, your grandparents had the Gator, but I mean, it's not really made for what we use it for.
that's true. Oh, we do
I
have.
mean,
I
that
mean,
thing's
we have
made
the.
for work. But
My grandpa has the hunting four wheeler, and we've ran that thing through hell. But I don't know. There's something about a dirt bike.
yeah,
Don't get me wrong. I love hooning four wheeler every now and again because I feel way more safe. But
yeah,
learning the like technical skill and trying to like keep yourself steady and all that goes into riding a dirt bike through like trails and stuff like that is just for some reason more appetizing.
yeah. I mean, shoot, my hoodie's still got mud stains on it from the last time we went riding.
Yeah. I don't remember what I was even wearing. Oh yeah, I was wearing my jeans.
Hard telling with you. Hard telling with you. You got so many different things you wear on a day to day basis. I stop trying to keep track.
That's fair. I got a lot of outfits I like, a lot of different styles I like to go for. I this just came to mind because I'm getting a haircut Thursday. You just got a haircut.
Yeah.
Big change for the boy.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, ain't nothing really too special. Just got my hair cut after having it long for like 4 years.
Yeah, I you sent me the photo. I was genuinely scared for a second. I was like, what just happened? Oh, how
Well, I had to do it for this job I got. So
yeah, that's fair. How different does it feel having short hair now since you've had long hair for so long?
really, other than my neck being colder than normal, not much really. I mean, I still do some of the things I did when I had long hair. Like I'll go to flip my hair to one side or the other when I go to lay down.
Yeah, that's
I'll
fair.
still try to take it off of my shoulders by flipping my head around or whatever. But yeah, other than my neck being cold all the time now, not much really. It feels too different.
Yeah, I've been going through so many different hairstyles. I don't usually get used to something for too long.
Yeah, but your hair's never really styled. It always usually looks the same relatively.
Yeah, I just do a bunch of different haircuts with it.
I mean, the biggest haircut change you had was when you had a very short mullet for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I remember that.
Just couldn't commit.
I committed this time for a little bit longer, but I am leaving the mullet behind again to try something else out. So next time you guys see me, my hair will be different, and it won't be sticking out, but probably won't be sticking out the back of my hat. Although I do love that, since I'm a hat guy now and I wear hats all the time. I
You're
like
a guy.
a hat guy now. Yeah, I'm a hat
You,
guy now.
you just wear hats. There's no like specific. You're a hat guy. You just wear hats.
Well, some people are like hat guys, and some people aren't hat guys. Some people wear hats all the time, and some people don't.
So would I be considered a hat guy?
You are a hat guy, yeah.
Oh, brother.
There's like there's like no hat guy, occasional hat wearer, and then hat guy.
I swear you can think of some weird club thing for anybody that does anything with anything.
Well, I mean, you gotta admit if there's a specific person that
I'll
wear.
admit it makes sense, but I've literally never heard anybody say, "Yeah, I'm a hat guy" or "not a hat guy" until today.
Well, you're welcome. I brought that into your life.
I don't know if I needed it in my life.
I'm sure it's fine. I yeah. I don't know. There's something. It's like a. It's just something. I guess I don't know. For me, it's like categorizing people. Like you are a hat guy to me, because whenever you take off your hat, I'm like, what the heck just happened?
You know, some people call categorizing people racist, buddy.
Well, I don't do it like that.
I don't know. You go through your stints.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Get you canceled on the second episode. That's my whole goal. It's the only reason
Oh,
I'm here.
okay. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, you could. I mean, you could just say things, and that would just get the podcast canceled in general. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Because I had you on the podcast.
I mean, I don't have to worry about getting canceled. I got nothing that special going on. So,
True. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It, you just tear down literally everything that I've built up.
wouldn't be too hard.
Uh, probably not. You could probably just
Sorry, buddy.
come up with something. So, let's see. You have any
Running out of question.
I've asked all my questions that are pertinent to you. One of the questions I have is books you like to read, and I know you don't read books.
Anything about a car or history?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. Um, so let's see. Let's talk about ambitions. Where do you plan on going in the future? What do you plan
Nowhere.
on? What do you plan? What do you plan on
Really,
doing?
other than like, I plan to move out of Illinois. That's for sure. And within at least the next year or so, I plan to pull out a loan for a truck.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, you have to wait to do that till I'm getting a steady stream of money coming in.
Yeah,
And being mixed between only working 3 hours after school every day, can't really do that.
that's a good point.
Especially considering I get paid bi-weekly.
Yeah.
I was getting paid weekly. I actually probably wouldn't be too bad.
Some people think a lot. Most people get paid bi-weekly, and I feel like, or at least from my understanding, at least on how it works. And some people are like bi-weekly's good. Some people are like bi-weekly's bad.
Oh, it just depends on the amount of money you make. I mean, if I was working full time at the job I have currently, bi-weekly wouldn't be bad.
Yeah,
But I only get like 3 hours a day, so bi-weekly's kind of bad.
that makes sense. So you're
But this new
going.
job I got, I get paid weekly. I'll get paid weekly for them, and then once school gets out, full time. Because see, there it's a regular work week at this new company I'm at. A regular work week is 45 hours, not 40 hours, 45,
Hmm.
and that's not counting if I decide to work a Saturday for 4 hours on a Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, I would. That's what the next question I was gonna go into. What is this new job that you're picking up?
No, I was just working on semis for a trucking company up in Quincy
Oh, okay.
called Thompson Inc.
Hmm. Never heard of them, but then again,
I
do you?
honestly didn't know the names of them, but after I figured out what trucks they ran, I recognized them immediately. I
Okay,
just had never knew the name before.
that's fair. Any frick, I don't know. Any no, that doesn't work either. We've talked about that. Shoot.
This isn't good, buddy.
Um, I usually I can come up with something. I'm blanking right now, man.
But I'm trying to figure out how you can't come up with anything right now. But if we're in person, you come up with things that I really didn't need to know.
This is a true statement. I would be willing to talk about ballad, but I know you don't care, and this episode is also supposed to be talking about you. Um, and also, you have nothing to add to that because you weren't there. So,
Had to what?
Ballad talking about the regional last weekend for
Oh,
Smash.
well, no, I was there. I got a slice of pizza.
You did show up at the end and grab a slice of pizza. Yeah, that spooked me. I had no,
I did.
it caught me off guard.
I even texted you and said I'm coming to see you, but you hadn't been on Snap in like 2 hours.
Well, yeah, it was first of all really bad signal in there. Second of all, I was like dialed in on all the things that I had to keep up on and make sure I got done
Yeah.
because there was so much that I had to do, which was fine. I didn't have a problem with it. I enjoyed being able to help out the guy who ran the tournament because last year he had a hard time. Last he got up, he played a few sets, and he'd have some like close ones, and he was so stressed about having to run the tournament, but then also play well, that after like two different games that were like super close, after he got up, he like almost passed out. So I was very happy that we were able to help. I was able, at least me, was able to help him out with that and take some stress off of his shoulders.
Yeah.
You are an Xbox guy.
Mm-hmm.
Why Xbox?
It's just what I prefer. I've had both. I mean, I've had a PS4, I've had an Xbox 360, a PS3, a PS2, an Xbox One, and I now have the Xbox Series S. I mean, just what I prefer.
Fair.
But I will admit, I wish I had a PlayStation for some exclusives that they have because I really want to play God of War.
I get that.
I also really wanted to play Spider-Man 2. I mean, I played through the main story, and now I just gotta talk my buddy into letting me use the console to finish it out.
Mm-hmm. How it, so with the recent news coming out about so there's been a lot of news from Xbox specifically about how they're saying everything is an Xbox now. Have you heard anything about that?
No, really, the only thing I've heard is how Forza is going to PlayStation now.
Yeah, they pretty much plan on taking like everything they can, Xbox exclusives, everything, and putting it pretty much everywhere so you can play Xbox anywhere, and or at least Xbox games or anything like that everywhere. And if that were to come true, right, and PlayStation is still being kind of stingy with their stuff, would you find
Hmm.
yourself maybe wanting to get like a PlayStation as your next console when the next console comes out as your next console? Would you want to get like a PlayStation because you have all of your Xbox games that you love, but also you get to play those PlayStation games now that you miss out on having an Xbox?
That's a long-winded question.
Yeah.
That was a very long question. I don't know. I'd probably, honestly, probably not. Well, like if I could get everything like if I could get like everything that I play on my Xbox on a PlayStation, then probably.
Yeah.
But also, like at the same time, to me, I feel that Microsoft is just a little more superior because they have different applications. Because you can have Xbox games on console or PC, whereas Sony doesn't really. I mean, they do, but they don't. I mean, because Microsoft, runs Xbox, has their own computer type deal. Where, as far as I know, Sony doesn't. But
No. I mean, Microsoft owns Windows and Xbox, so they're just
yeah, that's what I mean. Is just like they're just kind of covering both of those bases. So they have, a console, computers, laptops, stuff like that. Whereas PlayStation or Sony really only has consoles, as far as I know.
hmm yeah. That's I mean they've done some handheld stuff every now and again, but honestly, it's getting to the point where if you want to play all the games that come out like I
Just
do,
get on PC.
you have a PC and you have a Switch or the Nintendo's newest console. If you want to play Nintendo games, obviously. If you don't care about Nintendo games, then you don't need a Nintendo console.
Yeah, I don't care.
I
I'm
personally
not a big
think
fan of them.
that if you don't care about Nintendo games, one of the best setups that you could have is a nice gaming PC and a handheld gaming PC, because then you get to have your games everywhere. If you want to sit down at your desk and play your games, especially with PlayStation now putting a lot of their slowly, it doesn't come out as fast, so you might get some spoilers every now and again, but PlayStation is starting to put their games on Steam. You pretty much
Really?
only, yeah, Spider-Man 1 is there. I'm pretty sure God of War, the revamp.
See, I really want to play God of War because I'm big into the whole Viking thing after I played Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
I think the let me check. The revamp of God of War with the Atreus and all that stuff.
A
I th-
revamp. They released the game like 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 years ago.
yeah, but there was a there was God of War games that came out originally that were
Well,
like,
I know what I'm talking about. The newest one.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about too.
That's the one I want to play.
That's what I'm saying with like revamp, cause
Oh,
originally it
I don't
is
know. I
on
wouldn't really call
Steam.
it a revamp. Just it's the end of a saga.
Yeah, kind of.
A revamp would be like Mafia Definitive Edition, or like how Rockstar did the remastered version of GTA's, which were horrible.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. So
Those
yeah,
were awful. Coming from
the
somebody that played the original versions of those games, the remastered GTA games are absolutely just atrocious. They look horrible. They're just awful games. Honestly, I would rather play the original ones than I would the remastered ones, just because they look so bad. Because they took pixelated graphics and tried to make them look good,
hmm
and it did not work at all. It'd
yeah,
be like taking it'd be like taking an old school Mario game and then taking one of the newer ones that's kind of like 3D, and mashing them into one. So like you can tell it's still pixelated because they have sharp corners, but it's just kind of like rounded off and just a blurred blob.
yeah. If you like remaster a game, you have to do it well. There's been a lot of games that have been coming out that have been like claiming to be like remasters. I feel like there's
Mhm.
remakes and there's remasters. So that's something that's been like a big
Yeah, I
talking
feel like the
point.
GTA's would be more of just a remake because it didn't really change anything other than the graphics and the mechanics, but they didn't make it any better.
Exactly.
A
If you
remaster would be better.
exactly. So like uh Final Fantasy 7, they have the
Mhm.
original and then they have remastered and they have this new storyline coming out, which I need to play those games. But because I want to play them so bad and they're so phenomenal. But they had the remaster come out, and that was completely revamped. We got a new engine to play on. The storyline is kind of the same, but they changed it up a little bit, and way new graphics, way new mechanics, and the way you play is completely different. But it still has that Final Fantasy VII like charm to it.
Yeah, it's like I played Mafia Definitive Edition, and like it's I guess it technically just be a remake, but they added some new stuff. Um, it looked 10 times better than the original.
hmm
I mean, 10 times better than the original. It's like you want to take something that's already good and improve upon it because, like the GTA's, for example, those games were already good games. I mean, those were the start of such a long, ongoing, pinnacle of video games. As you know, GTA is a pretty big deal. GTA 6 is coming out. GTA 5 has been out for third 12 years now.
Oh yeah, I think
It'll be
GTA 6
30,
is
I'm
like the
pretty sure it'll be
most
12.
anticipated
GTA
game.
5, as far as I know, is one of the highest grossing money making video games.
Yeah,
No, I
it's
have no doubt about that.
oh yeah, it's up there. It's like I think it's like I don't. I have to check up like the list most played video games. I don't know of all time. Oh yeah, I know it's Minecraft.
Minecraft has GTA 5 beat.
Yeah, it's been at the top of the list for a long time. But it
I could
is
see that.
so top five is Minecraft, Tetris, Fortnite, Grand Theft Auto 5, and WoW or World of Warcraft.
I was about to say you're gonna have to elaborate. I have no idea what WoW is.
I figured I'd probably have to explain for a few people, but
I didn't know what WoW was.
yeah, the Minecraft
And I
is
know
what
what. And you said okay. You said the top five was what again?
at least according to Google's AI overview by Gemini is Minecraft, Tetris, Fortnite, GTA 5, and WoW.
I've only ever actually like played two of those games, and that's GTA and Minecraft.
Yeah,
I hate Fortnite.
it's fair. I used to be on a big hating streak for that, but it's got a presence, and I mean I've gotten into it with all the stuff that they've done with it. It's become truly not just a game, but a I forgot what the word is. It'll come to me eventually, but it's become more than just a game, and so
I'll
it just
pass.
like
It's just too cartoony. I've played battle royale games. Like I used to play this game called Enlisted, and
hmm
it's literally a World War II style battle royale. You fight in World War II battlefields, but it's a battle royale with different game modes and stuff like that. Of course, like Fortnite's got different game modes, but I like that more because it's realistic and it's based on history. Fortnite to me is just cartoony and goofy.
that's what I like so much about it because of how it operates, you're able to put so much stuff in. Like we have Marvel characters, DC clashing with DC
Star
characters,
Wars,
clashing with
Fast and
Master Chief,
Furious.
clashing with like literally anything you could think of. It's probably in Fortnite.
Yeah, no. You see memes all over the place of like people seeing like The Rock or some famous singer or whatever, and then people just like that's the Fortnite guy or whatever.
Exactly. It's got a standing point at this point. I mean, here it says monthly active players of 80.4 million.
Ooh.
Yeah, which is
Google those
crazy.
stats. See what that number is for Madden, just because I'm curious.
Let's see.
Google Madden 25.
Real
Oh, been
quick.
out for
With over 238 million copies sold and 140 million monthly active players. That's Minecraft, by the way.
huh.
Yeah, 238 million copies sold of Minecraft. I know I've bought it a few
But you
times.
gotta think it's been out for years in different versions of this, that, and the other.
Oh yeah.
But to me, Minecraft is one of those games. It's not as fun as it used to be because like I remember back in the Xbox 360 days, the biggest thing to find in creative mode was trying to find the castle.
What Madden do you? Actually, this
Well,
is
I'm talking about 25.
for 25.
Well, actually, just do Madden in general, I guess.
I searched up Madden 2020. Madden 24 stats popped up. Last 30 days, average players 274 for the last 30
Million
days.
or thousand?
Just 100
Oh, really?
for the last 30 days.
Well, yeah, but also Madden 25 is out now too. So college football 25.
Yeah. Let's see. Madden NFL 2024. Madden 24 Steam charts. Um, let's see. All-time peak was 9,488 people all on at the same time.
Real was what?
The all-time peak was
Yeah, the what was
9,488.
I guess Maddens really aren't what they used to be anymore, so people don't really play them as much.
Yeah, they're all over the place to be honest. Me just starting to get into them. Let's see. Minecraft is not on Steam, so I can't check Minecraft. What's a popular game that's on Steam?
BeamNG Drive,
Beam.
such a good game. Kind of started to get bored with it though. It needs an update.
We got one recently.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Well,
Was it a big one, or was it just kind of like a patch bug fix?
Beam
You'll just have to look later on.
beam dot
Because like when you click on the game on Steam,
NRG.
because when you click on the game on Steam, it tells you the like like the level of majorness, I guess, if that's a word, I don't know.
That's what it
Tells you the
is.
level of updates. And like if it has a new vehicle coming out, it'll show a picture of the vehicle.
Okay, well, never mind. I can't find beam at all on when I'm looking at Steam charts. So shoot, we reached an
Oh,
hour, bud.
really?
Yeah, we're at an hour and 5 minutes.
Huh.
Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all.
Oh, we either keep going or stop. Don't matter to me none. I'm just sitting here playing Madden. But once it hits 9 o'clock, I'm gonna get off.
Well, it's 8:37. I need to get all this stuff put on other platforms. So, I'm going to probably end this episode here. We'll end with a shout outs. Do you want to shout out any of your social medias or anything like that, or give us a hi, mom?
Oh.
Okay. Um, I just offer at the end if there's anything that you would like people
No,
to.
I do want to shout out. I do want to shout out.
All right.
I want to shout out Kraft Cheese. It's pretty good in case it is.
An excellent shout out
Hey, you
by.
said I could shout out whoever I wanted.
Hey,
You didn't say
hey. We can't put name brands in yet. We have to save them for them to sponsor us. We can't be giving free advertising. We have to get sponsored so I can get money.
well, Kraft is off brand. Velveeta's name brand. So
And now you gave them both free advertising.
no, I didn't say Velveeta was good. I
This
mean, it
is
is, but oh
okay.
shoot, I
Well,
did it again. Well, who knows? Maybe they'll see it and sponsor you. You never know.
maybe I don't know. Could be. Could be. Could be.
I have to rename the podcast to Cheese Talk. We just talk about different types of cheese for 3 hours.
Instead of something to listen to, it's talking about cheese. Something I don't know.
I don't know. That wouldn't be good for you and your allergy
Yeah,
though.
I know that would be terrible. We just gotta chomp on like cheese the entire time. I'm just over here dying. I just got like
You're just
EpiPens
over
at the
there not
ready, and
being
whenever
able to
I get it
breathe.
too bad, I just pop an EpiPen.
You just have like 14 EpiPens on hand, just ready for the podcast episode.
The doctor is like, "What do you need all these EpiPens for?" Podcast.
I got a podcast where I talk about and eat cheese, but I'm allergic to it.
I got a dairy allergy, but I gotta talk and eat cheese because I got sponsored by cheese. And they're like, okay. I they probably went okay for me to just pick up like 14 EpiPens. I'd have to go to like 16 different doctors. I'd have to go under like different aliases too, because they'd be able to look up my history and see that I just got one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a great time. I know what we do. We get sponsored by Velveeta, and they send me EpiPens.
See, look what you did. You just said their name, and you were getting on to me for it.
Well, you already said it. I figured I might as well hop on the board. Hey, you act
What a
like at
hypocrite.
this point in time we're getting sponsored by anything, so it's fine.
Yeah.
We'll
Red Bull.
Red Bull would be a
Just
great sponsor. I
start,
would love
start
to get
naming
sponsored
brands,
by Red
dude.
Bull.
If Red Bull gets sponsored, we're playing F124 during these,
Fair.
and we're just gonna race for the Red Bull team, Oracle Red Bull the entire time.
I'm chill with that, man.
Dirt,
I'm
dirt,
a
dirt, dirt.
big fan of Red Bull.
Max Verstappen.
Like
You even drink Red Bull,
I drink Red
or are
Bull,
you just
yeah.
a fan of what they do? Because that's what I like Red Bull is because they're not like your typical energy drink company. They're just like we. They're just kind of like, this is cool. Watch this.
Yeah. I like what
And
they
then next
do,
thing you
but
know,
I
you got
also
some dude
like Red Bull.
skydiving from like 48,000 feet in the air.
Yeah. All the stuff they do is like super cool and like super like
Unnecessary for advertising for a drink.
yeah. Like they sponsored a Smash player.
Really?
Yeah, there was a guy
Crazy.
named Amsa. He plays Yoshi, and he's from Japan. And when Melee was still growing, he was having to like pay for flights to come over and actually participate in tournaments because it wasn't as big in Japan, and Melee scene still isn't as big in Japan. And so Red Bull sponsored him, and they would pay for him to come over and participate in tournaments.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was sweet. I absolutely love Red Bull for stuff like that, first of all, but also I like their drinks too. They're the only energy drink I can drink and not get what I call the coffee jitters or the caffeine jitters.
Where you
Uh,
just shake uncontrollably.
well, for me, I get like there's sometimes where I get like super like crash hard, and I think it's just because I crash way faster than everybody else, where I'll just like get super tired, but also like my body hurts from like pain. It's super
Yeah.
confusing, and I have no idea how to explain it. But the only energy drink that doesn't do it is Red Bull.
All right. Well, after our argument about sponsorships and then a 10-minute talk about Red Bull.
I will end the episode here. So thank you guys so much for coming to listen to another episode of Something to Listen to. Uh, I really appreciate all the help. I appreciate you, Jacob, for showing up for this episode. I will probably
I
have
know.
you eventually show up for probably another episode, and we'll probably talk some more bullcrap. And I probably won't ask you these questions that filled up like
You
45
already knew
minutes.
me.
I knew them, yes, because I know you, but this is for other people to get to know you a little bit if you're
Oh,
willing to share, you know?
oh, okay.
Yeah. Shoot the breeze, have a good time, you know?
That's not how the term goes.
What's the term? Am I wrong?
Not shoot the breeze. I've never heard that before.
I hear that all the time. Is that wrong?
I've always just heard it as shooting shit.
Oh.
Yeah, you're sitting there just talking with somebody about whatever you're shooting shit.
Yeah, no, my family refers to it as shooting the breeze.
Well, your family's also, a lot more polite than mine is. So
Well, to let you know ahead of time, my dad watches these.
that's okay. It's just the S word. It's not that bad of a word. I'm sure I'll
Yeah,
be
no,
okay.
no, it's completely fine. I mean, I've cussed in YouTube videos and I've cussed on this podcast, so he's not the most happy with me, but I will love him either way. So
I'm my own person. I can do what I want.
exactly, exactly.
Because America.
America, yeah.
Uh, but I say you may not want to finish that term, buddy.
I skipped it.
I just made another touchdown.
Good job, man. What team are you playing right
I've been.
now?
I'm just doing my superstar, so I'm playing as the
Oh yeah,
Titans.
Titans.
I'm slaughtering everybody so far, undefeated, just like the
Nice,
first season. We're
nice.
10-0.
Well,
Oh, this is a complete blowout against the Las Vegas Raiders. It's third. It's third quarter with 29 seconds left. It's 41-0, but it's the Raiders, so
yeah, it is the
you don't really.
Raiders. Yeah, can't expect a lot from the Raiders.
Yeah. Alrighty.
All right, well, for the third time this episode, this is the end of the episode. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you. And I am going to go put this on the other YouTube channel, the Something to Listen to YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed there, go subscribe there. That's where you're gonna find these podcasts. Hopefully, most of the time in the future, and then try and put it on Spotify, and then hope Spotify puts it on all those other places that you guys love, like Pocket Cast, Amazon, all that other stuff. Because besides Apple, because I can't figure it out and they're not willing to work with me. Although they sent me an email, so maybe we'll get Apple figured out here eventually. But I'm not figuring that out tonight, so we'll figure that out later, and I will see you guys in the next one.